Welcome back. This is a guided meditation. It is intended to be watched or listened to while you are in a stable position, such as sitting or lying down on pillows, the floor, a comfortable chair, etc. Yes, I know you've heard this all before, but do not ever watch or listen to this while driving a motor vehicle of any kind or while bicycling or walking. It sounds like the Mythbusters disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Anyway, ready to begin? Okay. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and hold it in for a count of 2. When you release it, let it all out. Do this one more time. You are in your room, sitting in your chair facing the west wall. The table that held the candle before now holds a glass of water. Take the glass in your hand and look into it. In the water, you see an image of the cloud. As you gaze at the image, you feel yourself drawn into the water and then into a cloud. You are a single drop of water in this cloud. You know that the rest of the cloud formed from water evaporating into the air and condensing. As a cloud floats along, you feel the mass of it change. More water is accumulating in the cloud until, finally saturated, it starts to release the water. With the rest of the rain, you feel yourself tumbling through the air. Down, down you drop to finally land on the earth with a plunk. There you join with other drops to form a trickle. More drops add to the size of the trickle. Finally, you flow into a small creek. Feel your power build as more and more water joins you, and taste the minerals you absorb. Other creeks join yours, bringing the taste of the minerals over which they have been flowing. On and on you tumble, sometimes joining other waterways, and sometimes having other waters join yours. You're much bigger now, and can feel your power eroding the earth beneath you and at the sides of your banks. No matter how hard or how stable it feels, eventually it will have to give way to you and be changed. You travel, always towards the sea, on and on. Larger now, you start to slow, becoming deep and wide. A river. Gone is the merry babbling and the frantic rushing of your time of a stream. Now you are deep and ponderous, wide and full of life, and still you move on to join the ocean. Move on until you become one with the ocean, the great womb of life on the planet. Feel the life here, from tiny plankton to the great giants of the water, the whales. You feel yourself change again into a body adapted to exist in the water. Allow yourself to sink to the darkest depths. Life exists everywhere here in amazing varieties. Now, let yourself rise to the surface. Looking out over the waves, you see a fishing boat. Fishermen are frantically hauling in their nets. Wondering why they are in such a hurry, you look up at a darkening sky. The waves are cresting higher now, forming white caps. Rain begins to fall, slowly at first, and then in sheets which almost appear solid. The fishing boat, which seemed large to you before, is now dwarfed by the waves around it. Soon you lose sight of it completely. Slowly, the waves begin to calm and the rain slackens. The skies become clear again. There's no sign of the fishing boat you saw before. But now, you feel as though something is watching you. Looking to your right, you see a pair of blue-green eyes staring at you. They seem to be floating by themselves at the surface of the water. Slowly they start to rise, and you realize that they rest in a large head attached to a long, sinuous body which is coming out of the water. It is a large, winged serpent, which finally breaks free of the water and flies towards the shore you hadn't noticed before. Catch a final wave and let it carry you to shore. It brings you to a beach at the foot of a rocky cliff. Sunning itself on an outcropping is a sea serpent. It gazes at you from ancient eyes, and you study it in return. It swivels its head and points its nose towards a crude stairway built into the rock face on the cliff. Climb the stairway. It ends at the top of the cliff, and in front of you, you see the glade with your altar. There are two figures coming towards you. Between them, they carry a large shell with items associated with water. Once again, you pick the things that speak to you of water and the West. When you are satisfied with everything, the figures pack the remainder back into the shell. One of the figures hands you a chalice for your altar. Then they walk toward the cliff and jump from it into the sea. They seem to become one with the water rather than swimming. You turn to place it on the altar and notice that the altar has changed. It is becoming more defined. It feels more like it is yours. You place the chalice on the western side and look up towards the east. It is not as you left it. The eagle has landed in a different branch, and a couple of sylphs are sleeping in the tree. Puzzled, you turn to the south and find that much the same has happened here. The lion is lounging with several salamanders curled against its side. You were sure your things would be exactly where you left them, but the creatures? They do not disappear when you leave. They are not under your absolute control. You turn back to the altar and take a deep breath. With a second deep breath, you close your eyes and allow yourself to sink back into the chair in your room. You find that the west wall of your room has changed to a waterfall surrounded by rocks. Niches in the rocks contain some of the items you got from the emissaries of water. The pool at its bottom is full, and in its depths you think you can catch a glimpse of a nymph looking back at you, or maybe it's just your own reflection. Look around your room. The north wall is still mostly unformed. The view through the window in the east wall shows open sky, with an occasional bird or butterfly winging past. The hearth to the south burns brightly still, stirred by the breeze from the window. As you shift your gaze to the southwest corner, you notice that a little steam is rising where the western wall and the southern wall, charged by the warmth of the hearth, meet. Now it's time. Settle back into the chair, close your eyes, and let yourself come back down to the physical plane. Come back to the ordinary world now. Begin to become aware of where you are sitting, aware of your own body and the things going on around you. Remember, allow yourself to stretch a little before you try to move. So now, as always, I have some thoughts for you to consider. What items associated with water did you pick? What does your chalice look like? Do you see the relationship of the elements of air, fire, and water? What about earth? As always, bright blessings, and may water cleanse you and purify you, but never overwhelm you. Mark Silver out. For now.